What's your favorite scary movie?
Pat from Pop Culture with Pat, here with producer Roy Lee talking about The Long Walk. Thank you so much for your time today, Roy.
You're welcome.
Can you just talk about how The Long Walk came to be for you? What it was like the process as far as obtaining the rights for the film in the first place?
Well, it was a call from Stephen King's agent saying that The Long Walk had become available again. After it, King and his agent said that whenever there's an available title and that's something that I want to try to adapt, that just let them know. And on top of the list was The Long Walk. And in fact, number one's Long Walk, number two is Dark Tower. And so if Dark Tower doesn't get made somewhere else, hopefully I'll get a chance to make that. So, but yeah, from the time that I obtained the rights and the time of wrapping was under 2 years, which is from just getting a writer to come in and adapt the book and having a great director. And at the time, I was making the movie Strange Darling. And in the post room, when we were just like in post production, I was like, "Hey, what do you?" To JT, who had written a phenomenal script for Strange Darling, and I was like, "What do you think of Long Walk?" And he's like, "I love The Long Walk. I would kill to write it." And I was like, "Let me introduce you to Francis Lawrence." Put them together, and they hit it off. Francis really liked Strange Darling, and he wrote the script in like 8 weeks, maybe nine, and turned it into the studio, and they greenlit it. So it was really fast.
Well, that's exciting to hear too, Roy, because I was going to follow up if you had your choice from any selection of Stephen King projects in the future, what you'd like to pick from. So the Dark Tower, fingers crossed, I'd love to see you guys bring that to the big screen for us.
Yeah, I know exactly how I would make it, and I would suspect that we'll at least get the first movie done quickly.
And what was it about? I guess just specifically, I know you said that this was at the top of your list. What was it about the story that, you wanted to be attached to this to help bring this story to the big screen?
It was one of these books that I read when I was a teenager, and I absolutely loved it. And it was just something that stuck with me, and I was always envisioned it as a movie when I read it. So it just really was impactful in my reading of all the King material. That was one that really was one that I'd love to make.
And can you talk about what were some of the challenges that you guys faced in helping bring this adaptation to the big screen? Because I know some of Stephen King projects, people have struggled to bring some of those to the screen. So was there any particular challenges that you guys face, whether it's the elements or?
It was just getting the script right, and like if you have a great foundation of script, and it was easy sailing to get the movie made after that.
Was what was your reaction to, I guess, just finally seeing everything all put together when you finally got to watch the film for the first time and share it with an audience for the first time as well?
It was amazing just watching the audience just like in awe, like because like they didn't know that it was going to be that impactful. And have you seen the movie?
Yeah, yep, yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen the film.
Yeah, and so it really is as brutal as you can imagine. I mean, it could have been. I don't see it being any worse than what it was, and that was something Stephen King requested from us is to make sure that it doesn't pull any punches.
And I thought I heard from, I think it was like another interview that when you guys showed some of the footage at San Diego Comic-Con, that there was actually some stuff from the film that you guys had to take out or leave out just because it was too brutal for audiences there. And I can see
Yeah,
why
they
after.
actually made us black it out there because we actually thought it'd be fine, but then at very last minute they go, actually you have to block off some of these shots, and which we
Yeah, I
seen.
can understand why after seeing the finished product. But yeah, I imagine that's always something that's, a little nerve-wracking for you guys, even though you've done a number of different projects throughout your career. But I'm sure it's always a little nerve-wracking to kind of get that first initial reaction once the film's all finally put together and getting to share it with an audience.
Yeah, but we knew, I mean, from just watching ourselves, that it is a extremely well-made quality movie. So
Yeah.
we weren't afraid of that. We were afraid of like how if it was maybe too brutal, but it was meant to be that way.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you're no stranger to working in the horror genre specifically. So can you just talk a little bit about what it is about working in that genre that you love so much?
It was just something that I've watched horror movies. Probably the first movies I've seen as a child was horror movies, just because that's what I was exposed to, and I've always loved it, and I love the feeling of it. And I mean, I read a lot of horror, and I just like I know what can scare a lot of people, and if it scares me, then it's something that I really think that could work on the big screen.
Yeah, and it must be really exciting for you too in this time, and especially in the past couple of years, just getting to see a lot of these films being brought to the screen by yourself, but a lot of these original horror films just doing so well at the box office and connecting with audiences. So that way you guys can continue to bring you these original stories for us. I'm sure that's really exciting for you and your team.
You know, it's very exciting, and yes, we're getting. And I feel like a lot of the writers in Hollywood know that horror is probably the easiest genre of films to get made these days, compared to like dramas or comedies or other things, other than the big, like those big blockbuster movies, like the movies that could be made for 20 million or less. It's definitely the genre to do.
Yeah, horror, the horror genre, it's my favorite genre personally, and it's especially in the past. I feel like we're having almost another golden age in the past decade with just all the different films that we've seen brought to the big screen, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. Just to wrap things up for you, Roy, is there anything else that you would like to say about working on the film, and just what do you want to tell fans who haven't gotten a chance to see the movie yet?
Well, I just hope this becomes like the Stand By Me of this new generation. But it's like when I saw Stand By Me as a teenager, it was something that I watched multiple times, and I just felt really felt the camaraderie and the friendship between the group of boys. And I just feel like this movie can do that, and it just even more packs a punch.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree. Seeing the film, I think that it definitely will connect with audiences. You we're almost pretty much rooting for every single character that you saw on the screen. So it's like you don't want to see any of them die. But yeah, Roy, thank you so much for your time today. It was wonderful getting to chat with you about the film, and congratulations on the long walk.
You're welcome. Thank you.